I'm running gthumb+64, and I want to go through with you basic of photo editing with gthumb and GIMP, and primarily we'll focus on how to convert into a reasonable photo, black and white. So I have already downloaded my 2 photos that I've taken today in my morning walk and put it in download. So we'll go ahead and open up this first one here, and this is gthumb, and we'll go ahead and show the photo editing icon. Now I noticed this photo that the major information of interest is right here. So what we may want to do before that is I noticed that it's slightly tilted. So let's go ahead and fix the horizontal line here. What you want to do is just throw out the borders, that black borders that's going to be present after you you align. So we'll go ahead and keep the aspect ratio, crop borders, and keep aspect ratio. This is better for me, and we'll go ahead and click, and then you can get a rough the horizontal with a middle mouse click. For final control, what you can do is just use the right arrow key, which is what I'm doing here. So we'll go ahead and get it about here, and you can use the this horizontal third rule mark as a rough guide. So it's not exactly exactly level, but it's very close, and this so I think that this is about right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and accept, and then now we want to crop it further. So we'll just try to crop it about here, and we'll use the crop tool. And then it's smart enough to know the screen aspect of your display screen here. But if you want to work with the image aspect ratio, you can do that here. And then certainly if you maximize it, it's going to be a full. So we'll go ahead and try to get a in my case we'll prefer a screen aspect ratio, and we'll make it full. But this is a little, we want to get rid of unnecessary information, and then try to bring it down a bit. So this, we'll just grab the corner again, and I think this is pretty close to the information that we want. Roughly a third of interest. There is the other subject here. So we'll go ahead and leave. You just drag it with your left click mouse, and we'll accept it at this point. Okay, so this is pretty good. I think the what we want to do at this point is go ahead and make it black and white gray. So you go to the grayscale and click, and then it'll be a grayscale here, and there's a couple other choices. You can go to saturation. You can see that there is a change in the bird's head. So right here, this is gray brightness, saturation. Brightness gives you slightly more contrasting color of the white here. So I think that is, and then we'll take a look at the average. I prefer the brightness, so we'll go ahead and accept it. The other thing that we may want to do is just go ahead and look at the colors. It makes it automatic color contrast adjustments. So this is pretty good. And equalize brings out slightly more contrast, and then uniform is severe, but it's too severe. You can see the clear borders here, which I don't want. So wanna just go ahead and do the stretch, and we'll go ahead and accept. There are other adjustments in gthumb, but gthumb adjusts the whole picture. But if you want to adjust the part of the picture, for example, maybe slightly darken the sky, for example, what you have to do is have to use the GIMP on top of gthumb. So first thing you have to do is just go ahead and save what you want to send to GIMP. So you get, in this case, we'll just save it and add to the name black and white BW. In this way, you do not disturb the original photo. So we'll go ahead and save, and then save again. Now it's saved. Now to simply, this is a fairly neat trick, is that just simply send this to a GIMP. What you need to do is just touch the G keyboard, which is right there, and it automatically brings up the GIMP. So in GIMP, what I want to do is just bring up a copy of the file, just to make sure that if I mess up, I still have the copy down here. And then we want to right click on it and add a add layer mask, and then white color is what I want, and we'll just go ahead and add. So we've added a mask that will allow us to darken the sky a bit. So we'll go ahead and go back to the copy here, click, and you notice there's a white border telling you that's active. And then what you want to do in my case is just adjust color waves. So then I'll click on inside a photo, and I get this screen. So what I want to do is just gradually darken the color of the sky. So the GIMP is smart enough to give you a rough idea of whitish part here. So we'll just go ahead and try to bring it all the way down. And then you can play around exactly where you want it. So you can just drag with your mouse. And then, so what you're seeing now is everything, this photo is completely transparent. What we want to do is just darken the area that we don't want. So I'll go ahead and click on the mask at this time, and then we go to the border gradient tool, and then make sure that this white is forward. So default is black, is forward. So we want to go ahead and get a white background. But just by clicking exchange button, and then we want to darken the sky. This is slight on the top. So top is pretty close to what I want, but this rest of it is just too dark way down here. So you can go ahead and get a desired result by just simply clicking anywhere on the photo, top of the photo, left mouse click, and then just drag. And then the longer you go down, you can see that it gets darker on the top of the photo, and then you can see that it gets even darker, and you can even darken the left side predominantly just by doing this, but we want to just keep it about the middle. So I think this is pretty good. So we actually darken the sky a little bit without affecting the rest of the photo too much. So we'll go ahead and let go, and then next If this is pretty close to what you want and rest of it is finished, then what you can do is just go ahead and right click here, and then merge down is what you want. Now what we want to do is save this changes to the original photo that we imported to GIMP. So we'll go ahead and file, and then go to overwrite bw.jpg. So we're gonna export. Okay, 100% quality. Now we want to close the GIMP, and we'll discard everything. Now this is a photo that's been processed by GIMP. So this is pretty close to the final product. I want to get a slightly brownish tint to it. So there's two ways of doing it, and you can go ahead and go to special effects, and we can go ahead and take a look at the warmer. This is a little too much, so and then we'll go to vintage. That's not what I want. Mangoes, that's way too much. There's other interesting effects. A vignette is it makes the outside slightly darker, including the sides. So you can see that this is slightly darker than before. It's slightly darker here. So we'll go ahead and keep the vignette. It gives you a subtle eye. Eye will focus more in the center of the photo, subtly. So we'll go ahead and accept it. And then now at any point you want to just go ahead and discard the last changes. What you can do is Control Z. Control Z, I have to say, Control Z key will get rid of the vignette. Now we want to go back to make it a slightly more, so we can go to now we can use this icon here, which changes the brightness, contrast, and everything, saturation, gamma level. Now gamma level is very useful in that it tends to similar to contrast. So you can see that slight changes. It makes it darker, more dark, and I think this is fine about so. And then we want to get a slightly darker brownish texture to that's way too much, so we'll just go ahead and keep it about there, and it will accept. And then we'll go ahead and save it. So this is the final product of the changes that we made. So we went from this to this.